Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. In our top stories, the director in charge of communication in the Ministry of Defense has confirmed that some soldiers killed Dubila Jibril Goran at the below Foncha neighborhood in Bamenda, chief town of the northwest region of the country, on Sunday. He says the deceased had links with separatist fighters. You will hear more in this edition of the newscast. Plus, we tell you how Manfua Rene is a new mayor of Njombe, that's in the Mungo division of the Litowa region of the country. He was sworn into office. That was today, and he's taking over from Paul Eric Kinge, who died in March. The population expects a lot from him. You'll hear more in this newscast. Those are our top stories. Good evening once again. You're welcome to the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe television. We begin first with this information to say the director in charge of communication in the Ministry of Defense, Cyril Latomfak, has affirmed that some soldiers are behind the killing of Jibril Dubila Ngoran at the below Foncha neighborhoods in the northwest region of the country. According to the communique, he knows that the incident took place on July 4 and masterminded by soldiers in front of a police checkpoint in below Foncha in Bamenda 3 subdivision, Metam division of the Restive Northwest region. In a statement issued Tuesday, July 6th, the ministry spokesperson, Colonel Cyril Latomfak, says Jibril was shot as he attempted to run away from security officers at the control post in below Foncha. Colonel Latomfak says after identification, findings established that the victim, born in Jakiri subdivision on the 23rd of April 1985, was the local relay of certain secessionist terrorist leaders of the diaspora in the Nkwen sector in the Bamenda 3 subdivision. The release further reads that Jibril Dubila had been involved in several kidnappings with ransom demands as well as numerous cases of conditional threats under multiple pseudonyms and accounts on social networks. He is said to have personally and directly led several groups of scammers specialized in online scamming. Preliminary findings, according to the release, established with certainty that an arrest warrant had been issued against him on the 24th of November 2020 by the president of the Bamenda Military Tribunal following judgment that was on the 4th of November 2020, sentencing him to 3 years imprisonment and a fine of 565,950 francs CFA and accumulated damages for inciting secession and issuing conditional threats. Describing the incident in front of the police checkpoint in below Foncha that fateful Sunday, July 4, Colonel Cyril Latomfak says Jibril Dubila panicked when he got to the control post and engaged a maneuver to escape when he ought to stop and was forcefully stopped by deterrent gunshots, which unfortunately hit him fatally. This was not the view held by the population of below Foncha Street, who insisted he was a serious businessman who never wronged anybody. After he was gunned down by soldiers, they paraded the streets with his body, protesting against what they termed police brutality and excesses. In the course of the protests, irritated youths burned down the checkpoint in front of which Jibril was gunned down. All of these was done under the watchful eyes of the security forces. Jibril was buried Monday morning at the municipal cemetery in Bamenda 2 subdivision. The ministry, which regrets the sad incident, has extended its heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family and indicated that an investigation is on course to establish the responsibilities of actors involved in the incident. Away from that, we talk something else to say. The Longa royal family of Sumol Sopo, that's Villa village in Boya subdivision, has called on the administration to do the right thing or will be held responsible for bringing a crisis in the said village. The call came that was during a protest demonstration at the divisional officers denouncing that Allah's coronation bet for Thursday, July 8, 2021 must not hold, for it is illegal. There is just the details.
Protest at the divisional officer's office in Boya subdivision, Wednesday, July 7, 2021. The messages on their placard is a reflection of their minds. They want justice, and tempers are rising.
We not fit continue. We are standing. We stand for we right, and we not fit continue for make say people they press we and they move we out of royalty.
These are members of a royal family and villagers of Simosopowo Villa village in Boya subdivision. The peace of the said village is threatened as the chieftaincy tussle ranges on. These are the Lyongas. They say it is their turn to produce a traditional ruler and explain why.
He left from Francis Boakange in 1939. He ruled from 1939 to 1954 and went to Peter Efase Lyonga in 1956, and he ruled from 1956 to 1966. He left from Peter Efase Lyonga to Martin Moses Kange in 1968, and he ruled from 1968 to 2006. Now he's supposed to move from Martin Moses Kange to Lyonga here, and they have already designated the candidate. Now the Kangas want that it should still continue in under their direct family. Meanwhile, it has been rotating since 1939, as you can see here.
The minister is notified of the situation, and these people want the local authorities here to implement the laws and respect the rotating nature of their chieftaincy.
We are saying here that this coronation is illegal. It's illegal and it should not hold, because the right thing has to be done by the administration.
They have been informed that the Kangas are planning to carry out a coronation under 24 hours. That is Thursday, July 8, 2021. And they came here to inform the administration that it must not hold, for any authorization given will mean the beginning of crisis in Simosopowo Villa.
What kind of mafia is this? We have never seen this. I will therefore front Dio's office with the deny say it not go take place tomorrow. If that thing take place tomorrow, then we go be forced for do any other thing where sometime they go vex with we. So tomorrow with the talk say not chieftaincy coronation no go take place for small support.
At press time, the assistant divisional officer for Boya subdivision, who had earlier received these protesters, declined talking to Equinoxe television on the take of the administration concerning the worrying situation between the two royal families of Simosopowo Villa village in Boya subdivision.
There is just ending that report, and now Manfo Rene is the new mayor of Njombe Penja in the Mungo division of the Littoral region. He was sworn into office today. Takes over from late Mayor Paul Eric Kinge, who died in the month of March. The population of Njombe Penja expects a lot from Manfo Rene. Details with Malaglory.
Nous manquons de l'eau, nous n'avons pas de lumière. Nous sommes abandonnés dans une petite forêt. Mon quartier est vraiment abandonné. Qui retire ma population dans cette forêt-là et qui nous donne de la lumière et de l'eau potable. Oui, nous souhaitons qu'il marche vraiment comme notre premier maire, notre premier défunt maire. Oui, qu'il nous retire vraiment dans cette misère-là, dans notre localité de Njombe, de Penja.
The swearing-in of the mayor of Njombe Penja yesterday, 6 July, uplifted hopes to the locals as the mayor, Manfo Rene, promised in front of the council and the judges to carry out his duties in discipline and loyalty.
Je jure sur l'honneur et m'engage à servir les
I do so swear to honor and to engage myself in the service of the community and the interests of the inhabitants without discrimination and favoritism, and to carry out my legal duties following the laws of democracy. The new mayor, who is a lawyer and the national vice president of the Cameroon National Patriotic Movement Political Party, MPCN, is replacing his predecessor, Paul-Eric Kinge, who died last March. While taking the oath of service, he promised to uphold the ideology of the party's vision bearer.
La localité qui est la nôtre, Njombe-Penja, je l'ai toujours relevé, même après sa mort. Même lorsqu'il était encore
I have always reminded my predecessor while he was alive that we have same vision, same determination, but not same method, even if the result might be the same. Njombe-Penja lack road network facilities, water and street light. Together with my collaborators, we shall put in place measures for this problem to be resolved.
Je vais m'y atteler avec le soutien de la tutelle, de la hiérarchie et surtout du conseil municipal qui par délibération me permettra de travailler sereinement.
The population of Njombe-Penja lack basic social amenities such as potable water, energy and good road network. The members of the municipal council therefore plead that the system of decentralization be effective so that work can be made easy for them.
Que Yaoundé doit laisser les maires travailler. Vraiment, c'est notre lutte.
There is a lot of unfinished work for the council of Njombe-Penja, so we plead with the authorities in Yaoundé to allow the mayor to carry out his duties.
Avec la décentralisation qui laisse les maires travailler, c'est ce que nous demandons à Yaoundé, de laisser les maires travailler.
One of the inhabitants advised that the new mayor should consider the cry of the population and not take sides.
C'est qu'il puisse entendre la population, qu'il ne prenne pas des partis pris pour certaines personnes, parce qu'il a été voté. Ce n'est pas une personne qui l'a voté, mais c'est une masse.
He shouldn't take side with any party because he was voted by the population and not a particular party. May the Almighty fortify him, and the government should insist on the question of decentralization.
Ils s'y connaissent. Oui, jusqu'à présent, on ne voit pas les réalités de la décentralisation, mais il faudrait vraiment que le gouvernement mette de l'accent dessus. Parce qu'avec ça, on pense que les choses iront plus mieux.
However, the population of Njombe-Penja hope that the new team are up to task.
Over 25 dead pigs have been intercepted in Melong in the Mungo division of the Littoral region, being transported from Bamenda in the northwest region to Douala Littoral region. The pigs were intercepted by officials in the Ministry of Wildlife and Animal Husbandry. According to the owner who denied transporting dead pigs, he says the pigs died because of heat. He cries the loss of millions of francs CFA. For me, Armstrong Sander completes that story.
Dead pigs littered on the ground in a disgusting manner. They were intercepted by officials of the Mungo Divisional Delegation of Livestock, Fisheries and Animal Industry in Melong, Mungo Division of the Littoral region of Cameroon, who immediately proceeded to examine and establish what killed the animals. After this exercise, the officials proceeded to bury the close to 30 dead pigs and impounded the over 72 others which were still alive. The pigs were being transported from Bamenda in the northwest region to the economic capital city Douala. Before the incident, which the owner blames on heat and a breakdown in the vehicle in which they were being transported.
Which way don't happen? I say, you want to motor for Bamenda, one can reach for Melon. Yes. That motor spoil. We will find different motor for Melon, we know see him. I call my president, he call motor for Buda. That motor come from Buda, one come, he reach for that place, from that pig they don't die. From 1 o'clock, we don't come for night. From that time, he won't reach for that time. I think we don't make him that pig, they don't die, plenty go down.
His pigs, according to him, died of heat in Melong. Brandishing a document, the owner said his pigs were fine and certified for the market by veterinary officials of the northwest region. A declaration sharply contradictory to the move of co-veterinary officials of the Mungo division.
That was for me. I'm Sean Sander with that report, with 25 dead pigs intercepted there by officials of the Ministry of Livestock, Fisheries and Animal Industry. They were being transported from Bamenda in the northwest region of Cameroon to Douala, Littoral region, intercepted notably in Melong. We now talk something else to see. There are efforts to develop African banks. According to actors, banks in the continent have been limping because of several challenges, notably internet connection as well as infrastructural issues. The organization of the African Banking Forum here in the economic capital, Douala, aims at stepping or bringing efforts in order to develop the banks. And digitalization is said will bring a lot of change. In this slide, details with Charles Ekome.
One of the major setbacks faced by banking professionals in Africa is them operating with slow and limited internet services and frequent power outage, which sometimes hampers banking transactions. It is for this reason that African Banking Forum, which is the largest annual event for banking professionals in North, West and Central Africa, has decided to look into the problems in this year's edition with theme African Banks in the Age of Disruption, an event which focuses on new trends towards revolutionizing digital banking systems on the African continent. We have many challenges such as infrastructural challenges because we will have to renovate the entire system, which will require new equipment. The environment is another challenge which we will have to consider, given that when operating a digital bank, you are obliged to secure banking operations digitally, which is demanding. Moreover, the training of personnel is the most important challenge, because personnel operating in banks of today will have to know how to operate futuristic banking systems, which will ease the massive operations of distance transactions.
Avec la banque digitale qui va favoriser les opérations de masse et les opérations à distance.
These banking professionals also urge African governments to provide better social amenities, which will enable them achieve this goal.
Nous devons avoir un internet moins cher. Nous devons voir.
We need an internet service which will be less costly, and we will need to have electricity 24 hours a day, 7 times a week. That is what it entails operating with a completely digitalized bank, because when a client arrives at the bank, he should be served on time.
Il faut fonctionner 24/24, 7 sur 7. Mais pour fonctionner, il faut qu'il y ait l'électricité à chaque moment. Pour que vous, lorsque vous venez voir un distributeur, vous puissiez récupérer votre argent sans problème.
Furthermore, they also see a future investment in human capital, most especially the upcoming breed of African children who can boost this sector in years to come due to their technical know-how on computing and software analysis. There are so many opportunities for the entire continent vis-à-vis the digitalization of banks. The continent has a vibrant and youthful population, which will probably have #1 innovators by 2030. The less than 25-year-olds in Africa will take this industry to higher heights, and they will push their respective governments to modernize infrastructures. This event, which runs from the 5th to the 6th of July 2021, will gather many international experts as well as ministries and regulatory bodies, banks, financial institutions and technological partners. They will have the opportunity to connect and be inspired to discuss trends and technology solutions, as well as share the best practices in the banking sector.
Onto our health page, health officials in the northwest region of the country are worried over the low vaccination rates against the COVID-19 pandemic. They blame this to false information spread on social media against the COVID-19 vaccines. They say the vaccines are dangerous, reason why most of the people are scared to get vaccinated. Reason why they have launched another sensitization campaign in order to mobilize more persons to get vaccinated. Details with Immaculate Fogwe.
Many Cameroonians are still doubting the efficacy of the COVID-19 vaccines following the combination of warnings about possible rare blood clots and messages on expiry dates, which have contributed to the slow rollout of the vaccines. Health experts in the Northwest region are worried that public skepticism will rather increase the number of infections.
The numbers with respect to those who have been vaccinated is low. We expected to vaccinate over 56,000 persons, those who are in the target, and so far we have not gone beyond 7,000, so we are still somewhere around 10%.
They equally urge the population to get vaccinated since there is an overwhelming evidence that these vaccines are safe and effective.
Even some of the media houses showing how somebody puts the phone on the shoulder and says that and put a magnet. I think that is completely fake. Fake message that we have to really decry it and say that these fake messages. You've seen some people come on the media talking about research in the UK. Researchers in the UK, they have said that, oh, the vaccine is fake because it's a white man saying, we all accept. These are all fake messages talking about research. Meanwhile, you don't see any research put on the website.
In a bid to see more persons get vaccinated, another vaccination campaign has been scheduled to begin on the 7th of July.
And this campaign now becomes an opportunity for us to be able to catch up, to vaccinate all the others. And if you remember very well, His Excellency the Minister of Public Health has extended the target to include everyone 18 years and above. We're also going to make an effort to do outreach sessions, to go to some marketplaces, to go to some pharmacies, to be able to reach out to those who cannot come to us. But basically, if we don't attain 80% herd immunity, it's not possible that we say that we are free of COVID-19.
Though the number of COVID-19 cases have dropped significantly, health experts, however, continue urging the population to respect barrier measures in order not to fall prey to the more transmissible Delta variant, which is killing thousands of persons in India.
And that report ends this edition of the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinoxe Television. Thanks so much for watching. Do have a splendid evening.